Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Cassandra here and welcome to Best of 2020. So today I decided to pick 10 books that I really loved throughout 2020 that I've read. I think I came up to about 90 books last year. My goal was 52. I always kind of set a goal to read one book a week. And sometimes, some weeks, it's obviously a little bit easier with the quarantine that lasted for, I don't know, 5 months or something. Definitely a lot of reading time. And so I thought I would share the 10 of my best of 2020. I just picked the ones that today I felt like, what are the books that you would recommend to someone if they asked you what was the best books that you've read in 2020? Recommend them to me today. Sorry, I'm just gonna unclip my clip. There are, of course, some books that I have read and I liked, they maybe didn't make it here, and I'll give you like kind of run up of why I chose the books that I did. So with all that being said, grab yourself a cup of something nice. The first few books I actually have on my little flashcard. So I thought I'm going to start with the books that I don't have on me, and the first two that I wanted to mention were a new genre to me, and it's like a smutty romance, okay? Mary and Makeup, or Mary, I think it's Mary and Makeup, okay? Mary has a go back. So Mary does have a Sick Twisted Bitches website or a site, no, a page. It's called a page on Facebook where you guys can interact and talk to each other. So if you go to, I will leave it down below. If you go in and check it out, it's so amazing. There's so many girls that are into the same books and they kind of recommend. So it's all about like the smutty, sexy, kinky books. And I've never been like, to me, a romantic book where a girl meets a boy, end of story. Like, I'm kind of not into that shit, okay? So, like, I wanted some spice. Like, so, I'm 26, so, like, the typical YA contemporary romance doesn't really do it for me. I wanted to try something new. So, the first two books, and by the way, the books are not in any kind of particular order. They are mostly just, like, genres that I tried, and I'm going to give you kind of the best of all of those, okay? So, the first two, we have The Birthday Girl, and we have Vicious, okay? So Vicious, I just do this one because it's the Saints of the Sinners series, I believe. So those two books are definitely like in the smutty, they got me into the smutty romance, okay? Vicious, a bad boy, good girl, bully, and then there is like, he is only a good boy for her. And we know that we all want this. We want a bad boy that is going to be good for us. And I loved it. I thought it was great. It was very well done. The whole series is amazing and I've flown through it. Highly recommend. The Birthday Girl. So the Birthday Girl is there's a couple and they move into the boyfriend's house. And there is some age gap. There is some inappropriate, you could say, relationships, but I absolutely loved it, and that was one of the ones that are really highly recommended, and it was kind of almost like a slow burner, but loved it. Those two were definitely like my smutty top two. I will start with the books that I don't have a physical copy of, and the first one is going to be My Dark Vanessa. I already did, I don't know if I did a whole review on this one or if I just mentioned it. I think I've mentioned it in like a wrap up. I actually listened to this book. I haven't read the book, but it is about a girl and a teacher situation, but it's like a thriller throwback. It was disturbing, but I loved every second of it. I don't know if I would have liked it if it was an actual read, but the audiobook, ooh! And the second book that I do not own a copy, like a physical copy, but I do have it on my Kindle, is Behind the Closed Doors. Behind the Closed Doors was perfect, okay? So many people was like, oh, everyone is recommending it. Of course I'm going to get let down. It was fantastic. It was, if you guys are new into mystery, which I am, as you can tell, that is my mystery kind of side mystery thrillers. I was really new to this genre in 2020. And so that's something that I really want to work on this year. And it was amazing. So we have a couple that seemingly seem perfect, okay? And there's shit going behind the closed doors, and we have a sister with disabilities, which is, I think it's shown really, really nicely. And so I loved it. I can say the hashtag girl power, and I don't want to spoil anything, but really give it a go. And if you can get on Kindle, get on Kindle. Quite a quick read as well. I've read it, I think, in one sitting. So amazing. It should be probably like 300 pages, but great, highly recommend. And it was my actually a last book of 2020, and I would want to say that, oh my god, because it was the last one I recommended it. No, actually loved it, and I can compare it to now a few that I've had. So the next one that I had was one of the first, and I actually did a whole review on it, so I will leave my own review to this book down below. So we have a girl, she gets a nanny position, and it is a lot of money for what they're asking her to do, and she is not really qualified, but we are actually going to like flashbacks because she's currently held in prison or jail because one of the children has died. And to start with, I thought it was really paranormal, but if you want to know more about it, just go into my video and I kind of explain it. Also, if you have tips on how you would like me to do my reviews, let me know, because my reviews are all over the place because I talk about the books like I would talk to my sister. So anyway, so the next book that I wanted to mention, and I do have a physical copy, did I read it on Kindle? It's The Perfect Child. The Perfect Child was great. I don't really remember much. A book that kind of I didn't only read it because of the hype, but I've read it without going into it knowing much, and it was The Hate U Give, which could go alongside of Queenie, which I did read as well, and they were all about like Black communities and what do they go through, and this one was so moving. I know that there is a movie, so a young girl sees her really good friend get shot, and there's riots, and I did read it around the time of Black Lives Matter movement, when that happened, when all of the not riots, the when the hashtags and everything came out. I think I can't even wrap my head around of how hard it must be and what those people go through. And it really pulled on my heartstrings. I did cry. If you guys are not readers, if you think, well, that's not my kind of thing, just watch a movie. Just watch it, just educate yourself. And I thought that that was a great first read into kind of being aware of how it is for other people. So we have a book that I've already done a review on, and that was the Romance Book Club pick for I don't remember what month it was, but I did do a whole review. It will be linked down below, and that was The Sea of Ruin. I absolutely loved it. Okay, so it's a fantasy, it's a romance, it is a kinky romance. There's so many pirates, and I have to tell you, there's so many. If you could think of a trigger warning, you need it for that book. It has everything. It has sexual abuse on a minor, it has death, it has family issues, it has death, it has some very explicit sexual content. Yeah, it supports LGBTQ plus community, and we love it, and it was great. It was such an amazing book. It was so refreshing. Never read anything like that. Also very rough around the edges, so I absolutely loved it. The last two are still fantasy, but I did wanted to mention that they are both series. And so the first one is the Shatter Me series, and I know it's not a new kind of book series, but I think I got this one from like a secondhand bookstore or something like that, and literally 2 days later I bought the second and the third and the fourth, and the last one came out not so long ago, and I haven't read the last one, but I love this. So basically there's a gift, and she's more than a human. Basically what happens, if she touches someone, she can kill them with their touch. And then there's romance included, but there's a lot of drama. It's high-paced. Absolutely freaking loved. Last but not least, there we go, Holy Black. We have the whole freaking series here. So the Cruel Prince series. I'm gonna pop her back in here. Absolutely loved it. I must say, I've read The Cruel Prince for the first time, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. But when you read the whole series, I loved it. Definitely 2020, one of the biggest, like, my favorite picks. So, yes. I don't really want to spoil, because I feel like if I tell you about the Queen of Nothing, you have to go back to Cruel Prince. And Cruel Prince, you have two princes and a girl, and it's in like a fake world. Great. Great, that's all I'm gonna say. Read it. Great female character. I love the whole series. Loved every second of it. With all that being said, if you guys have any books that you highly recommend, preferably with like a mystery, thriller, or horror, because that's what I really want to get into. I want to be able to kind of not pick my favorite, because usually I lean towards fantasy because I like to escape into another world and have a great time with the fairies, you know? I don't know. I just really like being exposed to a new world or new idea, and I think the creativity of the author is amazing. So I want to get into something more spooky this year. So let me know if you guys have any of your favorites, and if you could let me know what like your favorite book of 2020 was. If you could drop it down below, like say my favorite one was, or whatever, top 3, or if you have a video, just drop it down below. I would love to see it. Like maybe I can spend some more Christmas gift cards, you know, and just get some new videos. I actually just did a video recommendation for TBR, so I've done my entire January TBR by picking books that you guys have been recommending. So either someone recommended them on Twitter, or they've been recommended on YouTube, or people have multiple times mentioned it, and I just got it. I just thought, well, I'm gonna listen to you guys and give it a best shot. So let me know what you think, and until the next time, I'll talk to you guys soon.